What up, gang? Welcome back to another ramble session. Let me get comfy here. Let me move this out of the way. Let me get this over here. You need your morning coffee. I do this in the morning. I've done it last time in the morning. This time in the morning, it's morning time. I'm going to talk about, first things first, I know I just drank coffee, not water. I liquid max, bro. I max out on liquids. Anyways, how are you guys doing? Channel update. I'm doing channel update. I talked about this a little bit. I've been trying to do more long form content. It's fun. Less editing, to be honest. And I'm able to like express more thoughts. Doesn't mean I'm done with like the movie roundups. I'm not done with that. I'm just one in the back burner. I've been putting off for a while. There's a juicy section in that movie roundup that I cannot wait to get to. It's near the end. That was gonna be fun, but excuse me. As of right now, I'm just focusing on this long form content. That's my. Other than that, I mean, what's going on with my life, bro? Crazy shit. Just crazy shit. My life's been a little chaotic past couple weeks, about a month for now. And yeah, every day's different. No certainties on things, and it's a little stressful. I'm a bit stressed out. Your boy is a bit stressed. I just got a lot of shit going on, and I don't know. My financial situation's a little weird. It's a little stressful, but I'm still hanging out. I'm hanging out. Carter. Just a little update for Carter. Carter is doing a little. She's in like a little dance group. Yeah, as of today, they're starting to do a dance group performance, and that's really fucking cool. I can't wait to see it. I'm excited to see it. I'll report back next week that it was great. If I remember to do that. But I'm excited to see it. Carter has been very excited. She's been putting a lot of effort. They've been putting a lot of effort into the performance, choreography. She has props. It's fucking dope. I'm so excited. So excited. I don't want to give too much away because it's kind of personal, but you know, that's exciting stuff. Next, the projector. I had a projector. I'm gonna talk projector for a bit. I love projectors for years. I've loved projectors. I had a shitty projector, a really cheap projector I got for Christmas one year. Fucking loved it. Upgraded to an Epson home cinema 1080. 1080p projector. I thought it was a really nice projector. Honestly, a really good projector. Epson home cinema 1080. That shit is baller. And then after that, I upgraded to the big, the bad, the bold Epson 5050 UB Ultra Black. Whew, I'm gonna move this. Now, if you're in the projector scene or on r/projectors on Reddit, you know an Epson 5050 UB is a pretty good projector. It's a pretty solid old projector. It's I guess back in 2019 it would be considered the best projector of all time. Comparing to who you're talking to, but it's 2026 now. But I was like, fuck it, let's get it. I did it very irrationally, and you know, I'm still paying it off. It's been a while. Because if you don't know, that projector is fucking expensive. Bad decision. As I get old, as I'm learning about myself, I'm very bad with money. I'm a little impulsive. I buy things. But most people do that. When you're in a situation where you make just enough financially to pay rent, to do groceries, to pay for a subscription here and there, and then you're left with like some money to go out to eat for like 2 days, and that's every 2 weeks, it gets really difficult, and it gets really to a point where you get discouraged. I feel like a lot of people have this feeling. It's just a mindset of like, I know I've had this feeling. You want a big purchase, right? Let's say Epson, whatever. But if you look at your financials, which, you take a half look at it and you go, fuck, that's going to take years to accomplish based on, my rate of pay, my financial standing, all that stuff, right? You don't think about it for a while, but you still really want it until you're like, fuck it, we ball, do something stupid, right? I got lucky that I didn't put it like on a credit card. I put it I utilized other avenues that I'm still paying off, and it was just a bad situation all around. I think, well, this is what I'm leading to. I didn't like how that was a bad decision. Not the worst decision, but it was a bad decision. So I was like, fuck it. This is where the second bad decision comes in. I got rid of it. I sold it for a few reasons. One was because it was just a hanging bad decision over my head. But the thing is, it's hard to sell. I couldn't get it to work on eBay. eBay kept flagging me for like spam. And I got like several accounts suspended trying to sell it on eBay. So I couldn't do it on eBay. Facebook Marketplace was a fucking shit show. That was awful. I got so many scam people on from Facebook Marketplace who lived in like Iceland and Finland. They wanted it there. I'm like, bro, what? No, you have to no. So I sold it for a lot less than I wanted to sell it for. But the biggest problem is I sold my other projector too, because I was like, you know what? I'm impulsive, right? I make these big decisions very quickly without thinking. And I go like, you know what? I don't use it. Fuck it. Without realizing that like, there was factors that made me not use it. And those factors were that for the Epson 5050 UB, it's an older projector. It looks fantastic. It's a fantastic bulb projector. Looks incredible. But it's a bulb. Bulbs expire. They go bad. They get out. And the light just dims, right? And if I wanted to get a new bulb, it would be $300 a bulb. It's crazy. Nowadays, they have laser projectors, which is like more of the standard. Those last a long time, and they have better input lag, right? The biggest problem with my projector that I had, it didn't work with my audio situation, right? I had a home theater, right? I had the projector screen, I had a whole sound bar, surround sound setup. They utilized Dolby Atmos. But the thing is, my projector, it didn't have like an E-arc or an arc connectivity to it. Even though the fucking guy at Best Buy said, yeah, it does. It doesn't. And it has no audio output, right? The only way for it to really work, from my knowledge, would be through like an audio visual receiver, which is kind of how it was back in the day. Was kind of more audio visual receivers, and even then, I just didn't want to. I don't know. Like it felt like it would be more. It was just confusing, and it pissed me off that nothing was working. I bought several like adapter things to try to make it work. It was really bad sounding. Nothing worked right. I didn't want to buy like a. The biggest thing was Dolby Atmos, right? I knew my soundbar had Dolby Atmos. Even though it wasn't like true 7.1 Dolby Atmos, it was still like, you know, it used Dolby Atmos encoding. I lost my train of thought. Oh, another thing is the projector didn't support Dolby Vision, right? Because I don't think Dolby was like Dolby Vision Atmos wasn't like a thing when the 5050 was out. So that really upset me, right? And a lot of people would be like, it doesn't matter, that they're just gimmicks, which I guess, but I think it really enhances the experience. I don't know, but I was just upset that I had all these new things, and I bought so much money. I paid so much for this projector. I didn't get those things. It all was just kind of like half working, and it made me mad. So because what really makes me mad is because there's a lot of projectors out nowadays. There's plenty of triple laser projector lines that are like triple laser, standard throw. A lot of them are ultra short throw. I don't want an ultra short throw because that requires like a whole new projector screen. But like the Hisense, the C2 series, the Hisense C2, the Valerian series, like the Valerian Max, Valerian Pro, the xgimi Horizon, like the Horizon 20, the Horizon 20 Max. There was another one somewhere. There was another one I'm forgetting. Epson's starting to get into it also. Epson's starting to get into like there's like this pop series that they're doing for like $700, I believe. Here, let me look it up. A lot of Epson laser projectors, it like starts at $4,000. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? But there's this one they're starting to do that's like newer. That's 3,800. No, fuck you. Damn, bro. What the fuck? It's just so extreme. And then Shaquille O'Neal is just smiling at me. Go fuck yourself, Shaquille. Where's the one I was looking at? There's like, oh, you want a projector? 3,800. Do you want the screen for it? 3,800. The screen is just as much as the projector. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like, this is so rich people core. What YouTubers are saying. What the fuck? Yeah, I get it. It's that one thing. So the Pro Cinema, I don't need that. That's like 8,000. Home Cinema, let me see. Fuck off. Give me the real shit. These are bulbs. The LS1100 is a laser projector. What was I looking at earlier? It was like the Pops. Pop Plus. There it is. It's the Epson Life Studio Pops. So it's like $600. They're only 1080p projectors, but it's only 700 lumens. Yeah, this is not meant for like, this is meant for like outdoor shit. What about the Life Studio? Now I'm just fucking This is what I do in my free time, by the way. I just look up projector shit. Cool. Anyways, that's what I was talking about, the pop series. So Epson's getting into it, but I've been looking at like the Hisense, the xgimi, stuff like that. So the Epson 5050 flagship projector, $3,000 around there. There's the triple laser projectors. All of those that I talked about comes with Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos enhanced. A lot of them say like IMAX enhanced. Don't really know what that means. Triple laser projectors. They're usually like 1,500 to 2,500. So if you want the nicer ones, they're around the same price as the Epson 5050. But if you just want a base one that like does all the same thing, just has a little less brightness, you can get it like $2,000 cheaper. It's fucking nuts. It's fucking nuts. Like the one I'm trying to. So, long story short, before I go on another ramble, I'm been wanting to change my projector. It just sucks because it's not something you can just change out quickly. It's something that takes a long time to change, which is the biggest problem with projectors. If you're like me and you're in a boat that's like, you don't make a lot, you look at all these projectors and you go, okay, which one's the best one? And if you buy it, guess what? You can return it, I guess, for like, but it's like you're throwing thousands of dollars on a gamble if you really don't know what you want, right? Like for a while I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna get the Hisense PX3 Pro. And if you don't know anything about projectors, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like the PX3 Pro, the Hisense, what the fuck are you talking about? There's so many, bro. It's fucking nuts. I've been screaming at my camera for a while. This is nuts. If you don't know anything about projectors, the PX3 Pro is a UST projector, ultra short throw. It is considered the best ultra short throw projector like on the market right now, or at least from a couple years ago. Because, as I said, if you want these things, it doesn't happen quickly, right? You have to save up for it. So it was the best projector from like 2025 or something like that. Has all the things I talked about, IMAX enhanced, Dolby Vision, all that, yada yada. But it's an ultra short throw, so it needs a specific projector screen, which is an expensive one, right? So the projector plus the screen, easily $5,000 total for it all. That's a no for me now. I just want like a triple laser projector. I was teetering between. I wanted the Valerian at one point, but then see that's the thing. I'm trying to like weigh out the options for all of them. But I looked at the xgimi Horizon series, the base 20, the baseline 20, it's only 1,500. And if you don't know, that's half of 3,000, which is significantly cheaper. And I know I'm talking your ear off about this, but I really can't talk to anybody else about it because everyone else is like annoyed with me at this point about it because it's fucking expensive, and I don't know how to fucking navigate these thoughts of like, should I buy this? Should I buy that? When I make enough for like grocery money. It becomes like a pipe dream almost. This one though doesn't feel like a pipe dream. Like it's 1,500, still $1,000. It's a lot. Better than 5. But what I've learned about a lot of these triple laser projectors is a lot of them honestly have the same optics, the same performance levels, the same contrast, dynamic range. It has all the same mechanics and features. And someone who loves projectors, they'll be like, no, actually, they're very different. I'm not sitting here with a fucking camera analyzing the white and black ratios. Like, people get very in depth with it. When you're just watching a movie, they all look the same, right? So the Ryzen 20 1500, what is the one I wanted to? The Hisense C2. How much is that? Well, there's a C2 Ultra, right? That's like the one everyone wants. There's a C2 Pro. That's 1400. But the C2 Ultra is 2500. And it looks cool, but like, do I want to drop an extra $1,000 for something I can get? You know? And what was the other one? Valerian. Valerian's just not in the picture anymore. Yeah, so it comes down to the xgimi or Hisense for me. And honestly, there's nothing about the C2 Ultra that I look at and go, that's $1,000 extra I want to drop for that, you know? The xgimi, see, the thing is, there's no difference. It's like one has it's brighter. But the X Master, what does that mean? The X Master triple laser. The X Master triple laser. They're both X Master triple laser. They both have the same contrast ratio. Yeah, so the only thing difference is that it's just a brighter lens. Or not lens, but there's a brighter system for the Pro, but I'm like, I don't need that much. I think I'll be just as good with the base. And from my understanding, a lot of people they turn the brightness down because it's too bright. There's nothing about all of them that makes you go, let's do it. Let's drop an extra G, baby. So, what did I learn about all this? What I learned about all this is that I'm an impulsive person and that life is hard. Because you want something. Because it's so, like, some people have it easy, man. Some people, they get a bonus of $1,000 and they go, oh, cool. I'll get a projector. I don't get bonuses. I barely make money, bro. I for such a long time, I was making 75 cents over minimum wage. Maybe $1.50 or something like that over minimum wage. And I was making, like, I worked hourly. And I wasn't guaranteed 40 hours, right? I wasn't guaranteed full time. It's just whatever you work for and whatever you earn, right? For such a long time, I was like that. I'm in between changing jobs right now. So that's kind of the stressful moment in my life is that. But, like, it's hard. I feel like a lot of people can relate to this. It's just hard. You want something so bad for so long. And then the moment you're like, I maybe can be able to get this, the new thing comes out. Right? And you're like, what the fuck? Like, I got the projector for the Epson, but then Dolby came out. And all that shit. And what I was gonna get to that I forgot about, this shit's like cheaper. Sure, the contrast might be worse on the Horizon than the Epson 5050. Sure. But this shit is like significantly cheaper new. And it comes with like more features. Like the Horizon 20, right? It comes with Vision, HDR10, HDR10 Plus. It comes with 2 HDMIs and one supports eARC. That's the biggest thing, bro. That's the thing where I'm like, honest to God, that's the thing that's a seller for me. Can I fucking hook up my audio situation to it? Because I couldn't do that with the Epson. And it's cheaper. Like, that's the thing. That's what makes me mad. Because I was like, you're looking to get into this projector situation. Honest to God, just know what you're getting into. It might, because it's not easy. It's not as easy as you think. Because if you're like, well, I want to play video games on my projector. You gotta find one that has a right type of input lag. You can't just buy a $20 projector off of like eBay and expect it to work good, right? Like me, if you want to hook up a surround system to it, there's just a lot to it. Anyways, I'm kind of getting tired of this conversation, but that's what I'm going for. I hope this whole ramble can help at least one person go, huh, I need to do a little bit more research about something before I buy it, because I didn't. I was just kind of like, fuck it, we ball, and we balled, And there was other reasons why I got rid of the projector other than just like the connectivity of it all. It was just it linked to something, and I didn't like having it, I didn't like having it over me, personal stuff, Ugh. Anyways, this is gonna be a long ramble session. I didn't expect my projector thing to go that long, but honestly, that's what I've been trying to get off my chest for a while, is this whole spiel. Because there's just like, what sucks is there's no one out here wanting to talk with me about this. Nobody. It's on Reddit, a lot of people. There's like a thread daily about like, which one should I get? And there's people, I hate how there's people whose jobs are to like review projectors. That shit is so agitating. Because it's like, that sounds like a cool fucking job. Because companies will give them projectors to sell or to like show off. I don't think they can keep them, but like, it's crazy. It sounds cool, but regardless, long story short, don't get like a cheap projector unless you really don't give a fuck. Then do whatever you want. All right, moving on. First movie discussion. We're already 30 minutes in. It's gonna be a longer episode. I've been talking for a minute. I'm kind of like, Okay. First movie we're talking about is Disclosure Day. And kind of just Spielberg. I hated Disclosure Day. So there's two movies I recently watched: Disclosure Day and Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park, kind of more Spielberg at his master point. Well, Jurassic Park, honest to God, was such a fun experience to watch. I just recently watched it for the first time, like in its full entirety. It was fun. It was a really great experience. I loved it. It truly understood what it needed to show, and it did it in a fun way. Disclosure Day, well, it's trying to be a little different. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, honest to God, the storytelling in Disclosure Day is abysmal. It's almost like there's no focal point. It just starts, and you don't know who anybody is, and you're just kind of going. There's no connection to characters. Someone's looking for somebody. This is all within the first 5 seconds. Like, it's the opening sequence. They're looking for someone. There's just so much stuff that you just should know. But, like, you really don't know how anything works or what the stakes are. You just are kind of just watching. And that's how the movie felt. You're just kind of like, nothing's engaging. If you moved things around in the editing room, it could have been engaging. But we're just kind of there. As the audience, we're just there, following along. And the writing sucked. Like, the acting isn't great, but like, the writing is what makes the acting really bad, right? It's just bad writing. Horrible writing. It's like Spielberg just didn't give a shit, And the writer, whoever he is, he didn't give a shit either. Like, they just kind of made it, But it really is disappointing how like you go back a few decades and it's like, whoa, he actually knew what he was doing. Cuts it now and it's like, should you be behind the camera? Like, what? You know? But yeah, from my understanding, Disclosure Day is flopping hard. It's doing pretty bad. And yeah, it was a trash movie. Spoilers, I guess. Is that the film is like, oh, it's hiding what the point of the film is, but it's like, obviously it's about aliens. From the beginning of, even when I was watching the trailers, I was like, yeah, it's about aliens. And they kind of made it like as if it was like a twist or like a reveal. I'm like, no, it's not. No. What? There is, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's talk about another bad movie. Let's talk about Michael Jackson. Or Michael. That movie is a fascinating movie. It's a frustrating movie, but it's fascinating. Michael Jackson is the worst movie of the year, I think, for me. It it shows Michael. Excuse me. It shows Michael Jackson as a caricature, not a character. This is what Michael Jackson was that the masses knew him as, right? This is not the real Michael Jackson. It is a bastardization of the guy, right? Of the person. It follows him as it's like showing the Jackson 5 family, and all the shit they had to go through. The thing is, while this film does explore how fucked up Michael Jackson's childhood was, it does nothing with it. You know, like it kind of brushes over it in a very negligent way. I think that's the right word. Neglectful way. Like a lot of the film when he was younger, the kid, Michael Jackson as the kid, he was like, I don't have any friends. I feel like I'm different from everybody. And then the mom would be like, well, you're special. You're not like everybody. Like, no, brother, you're isolating him to make money. You're abusing him. But it makes it sound like it's like okay. It's like, oh, it's like a heartfelt moment. No. Michael was like other people. You just isolated him. You fucked his life. Like, the people around him did damage to him. But they were the ones on the producer list for this movie. So it pretty much couldn't be explored all the way. There was a bad guy, and it was the father, right? Yeah, he was like the clear bad guy, and everyone else was like, okay. Everyone else was a part of it too, but they're on the producer list, so they're not bad guys. It's fucking stupid. As if there's a bad guy. Michael Jackson was abused as a kid. He was isolated. It's fucked up. What happened to him was fucked up. And honest to God, this is going to be a genuinely controversial statement. I think he did do what people say, right? I think that was a thing that happened. And the whole, like, his house was called Neverland. And that's a disturbing thing, right? But throughout the film, he, like, reads Peter Pan. And he's like, one day I'll be at Neverland. And it's, like, foreshadowing something. But it never goes anywhere else with that. It's ominous. It's disturbing, quite frankly. It's pretty gross how just it's gross how quiet it is about certain topics, right? It discusses them so briefly, but it does nothing else with it. And that's the disturbing part. Like the part he goes to toy stores. and he starts signing kids' books and stuff. Like, it's there, but it's just not it's not discussed. It's so weird, you know? It's, in my opinion, it's kind of disgusting. And a lot of people have problems with that. A lot of other people, Michael Jackson's so fascinating because a lot of people are like, "Oh, he couldn't have done it," you know? He couldn't have done it. He's such a good guy. He made, all this, Kendrick Lamar even fucking said it. That man made Billie Jean. You said he touched those kids, right? It's like, you don't really know. I honestly don't know. All I do know is that Michael Jackson did say, "I like when kids sleep in my bed." That's like first flag. I don't know. But I do know is that people can be monsters without appearing like one. And that's what I'm trying to get at. Michael Jackson, his whole body, his personality, his character was created to be a thing to sell ever since he was a child, right? His likeness, his personality, his dance, his movement, it all is always was something that was trying to be sold. Quite frankly, I think Michael Jackson was kind of a mysterious guy. He didn't want personal things to be out. There's a lot of people who have given like accounts of Michael Jackson being like, yeah, his voice wasn't even that high pitched. Because like how he kind of talks like this. It wasn't like that. It was kind of like when the cameras were off, he would go to a normal voice. Like there's several comedians, actors, people that he knew him that would account that. He kind of just like had a more normal voice. But Michael, down to the voice, kind of had that appearance purposefully, right? It's probably to give something more innocent, more. It's a vibe that's more like welcoming, right? He contributed to he was loved by the masses, and that's what he wanted. That's what he wanted to be perceived as. You don't know what he was like in his personal life, and that's what this film would have been interesting to explore, was that. But once I realized who was on the producers list, I knew for a fact that wasn't gonna fucking happen, right? That's what pisses me off. And that's why I think it's a bastardization of his real character. It's like, this is what the Wikipedia article says about Michael Jackson. It's just like for footnotes. The movie is the footnotes, and it's such a bland, nothing experience. Nothing really happens. It's boring. It's so by the books. And I'm gonna say it. I don't think Michael Jackson's music is all that great, right? It's not like, I mean, it's I'm gonna be real. Billie Jean, great song. Love Billie Jean. But a lot of his music is very in tune for the masses, right? Not very experimental. Maybe it was at the time. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. But the film, it feels so bland. The film feels so cookie cutter, by the books, bland. And what it's even showing is so just like nothing. And something that could be interesting, it just glosses over so quickly. One scene that pisses me off is the scene with the mother. It's near the beginning when Michael Jackson as a child is like, I feel like I just want I want friends. I want friends. And the mom, she was like, you can have friends. Doesn't do anything about it. Right? Like, you as the mother should be like, oh, let's go to a park, or let's go find friends, right? Maybe he had some friends, I don't know. But then he gets a fucking monkey, a pet monkey as a friend. He gets a giraffe or a llama. And that's supposed to be like his friend. I'm like, okay. But then she goes, oh, you're special. That's why you're different than everybody. Like, no, bro. No. You were probably just training him 24/7 to sing and dance. Therefore, you didn't, like, you could see how, like, the problem was the mother and father, but the mother was, like, considered a good guy in the film. It's weird. It's backwards. The film feels backwards. It feels sinister, is what I'm trying to get at. There's a deep underlying sinister vibe to the Michael film, that is just kind of not explored. It's like in the movie Tar, when there's a ghost in the film, spoilers for Tar, and it's just never explored. It's just there. Spoilers for Tar. And it's like, whoa, that's like, it's kind of disturbing. It's like that. That thought is always in the back, right? There's a scene where it's like, there's many scenes where it's just like, it feels like, oh, there's something they're hiding right here. It's weird. Not to get to, like, conspiracy level, but, like, just something feels off, right? And that's how I feel about Michael as a whole. It's like, there's just something that's off. Everyone feels it, right? Some people just deny it. But back to another point, people are like, oh, he couldn't have done it. We just got an Epstein case. Not to say he was part of the Epsteins, but, like, there's thousands of actors, celebrities that are part of the Epstein case that you're like, what? No way. Some fuckers, like, there's some shit in the Epstein case where it's just like, there's accounts of, like, them, like, killing people. I don't even know fully, but, like, there's just some fucked up shit going on there. And it was like, there's so many people involved in it. And you look at Michael and you go, oh, it couldn't have been him. Brother, someone you never would have guessed is in the Epstein case. Michael can definitely be a monster. You never know. All I'm saying is, you never know who you look up to could really be, right? And I guess what I'm trying to say to the argument of, oh, Michael could never have been, you don't know. But back to the film itself, it honestly feels like it could have and should have said more about his character, that not even just, like, the fucked up shit with kids, like, not even just that, but, like, just, like, his real self. It was just told in a way where I just don't feel like that's actually how Michael was, right? It's how we all knew him as, which is why I think there's such a disconnect with the audience and critics about this film. Critics fucking hate this film. Audience members love this film. It's because they wanted Michael Jackson as they knew him. And this is exactly what it was. Michael Jackson as we, as the masses, know him as. This very lively, almost naive, but talented, innocent man who just loved the world. It's such a fake representation of the actual man. I would have loved to see a real story here, not a fabricated story of a person that was real. This is like as if, I mean, Michael Jackson's such a, like, legacy character that he's almost like fucking like a historical figure from, like, the 1800s that were like Abraham Lincoln. We don't know what Abraham Lincoln was like. We have written accounts of it, but, like, he's like a mystery man. Same with Michael. It's like Bigfoot, but real. I'm rambling. Anyways, what I hated the most about the movie was that it was just a nothing experience. It was boring. Acting was fucking terrible. Singing was good. I mean, but most of the singing was not really the guy Jafar. It was Michael Jackson's music. It was a pretty bad movie. 1 out of 10. What pisses me off is that the film just doesn't explore Michael. Even though it's called Michael, It explores Michael Jackson, not the Michael. Which makes, if that can make any sense to anybody, that's how I feel. Like, show Michael, not Michael Jackson, right? And, but that may have been, you know, more R rated, right? More like, holy shit, this is fucked up, right? Because we don't know what the fuck he did. It doesn't explore anything about what he did. Even like when he started going through a phase in his life where like he got like plastic surgery all the time. There was a point where Michael Jackson near the end of his life where it was sad how much he modified himself, right? It kind of goes into it where his dad kind of said, like, it made fun of his body and his appearance, his nose. He got a nose job. Okay. It explored it a little bit, like most of the film, but it doesn't go into how fucked up it got, right? There was a point where Michael Jackson, like, modified his face tremendously to where it was like there's obviously a problem mentally, right? Like he had a fucked up life, man, and it barely goes into it. Barely goes into it, right? I'm not to say it's supposed to be like let's like dissect his entire life, but if you're gonna make a movie about it, right? Like, what's the point of the movie? Oh, to make money? Okay, I don't care then. 1 out of 10. Fucked up. Fucked up. Awful experience. Awful experience in every way. Last movie we're talking about, Girls Like Girls, just came out. This is a fascinating movie, and I was told by a friend that I went and saw it with. I went and saw it with Carter and a friend. They said, and I'm paraphrasing, if I speak ill of this movie, there will be several explosives in my house. And they'll go off at an unforeseeable time. So I gotta really tread lightly here, because my life is quite literally on the line. Girls Like Girls. It's a film that is about teenage girls trying to figure out. It's like a coming of age story. Where two girls are kind of we follow mostly one girl, Nicole, as she's trying to figure out how she feels towards girls. Right? It's about gay romance. Right? In terms of the filmmaking, it could have been better in certain aspects. Right? There's some acting scenes. Please don't set explosives in my house. Some of the acting isn't good. I'm gonna be for real. Some of the writing is okay, but it's been done better in other films, like Call Me by Your Name, and whatnot. I think this director is newer, so I can't give him too much fault, I guess. But what really fascinated me was the second half of the film. Spoilers for Girls Like Girls. This film, it follows like the initial spark of when you like find someone attractive, when you like somebody, how that feels, and it's a very emotional thing, right? What I found interesting was the father character, the after the spark, right? When the reality sets in. That I think the movie did quite well, to be honest. So Nicole falls head over heels for this one character. I think her name was Sonia. Sonia is very at one point very like on again, off again. I want to spend time with you. I don't even want to look at you type mentality. For obvious reasons. I mean, in the year it was like 2006 in the film. It was hard to navigate gay feelings during that time. But it was toxic. It was toxic to Nicole, and that's how I was feeling. And I was what I was thinking about during this film was what is this going to teach to young people that are going through these thoughts and feelings, right? In my head, I was scared that I was going to teach them, okay, follow the initial spark, even if it leads to you being hurt and, like, like, just, like, ignore yourself, right? Even though it was saying, like, don't ignore yourself. Because, like, one of the characters is like, don't belittle yourself for the sake of someone else. But I was like, that's what's happening to Nicole with Sonia. But then it goes into that idea of how Sonia was mistreating Nicole. And there's this whole moment where Nicole has, like, a healing journey. That's my favorite part. She, like, gets a job. She, like, does things by herself that, like, makes her feel good. It's like self-care, right? She's learning things about herself. She's learning that gay people can have a relationship in public and it be healthy, right? With her coworker. I loved that part. That's teaching people, like, oh, like, you can develop healthy patterns of self-love, healthy relationship goals, right? Where it's not built on, like, weird codependency. It's not built on, I need to lose myself in this person because of emotions, right? No, it's like, no, you can, it's learning about self-love near that part. I love it. And then Sonia comes back, because Sonia leaves her life, and then she has this healing journey, and Sonia comes back. And I didn't like that. I was like, uh-oh. But then she kind of tells Sonia off a little bit, like, hey, you fucking hurt me. Shit like that. And I'm like, good. It's understanding, and it's relaying these ideas to... And it all comes back to just how people are perceiving the film. Like, the target audience, right? This movie is for young queer folk, right? Young queer people. And that's all I cared about, is that it was teaching these young people good, healthy relationships, right? And it kind of does, right? And that's what I'm taking away from this film. It does that. Like, it teaches, like, hey, that was not cool what Sonia did. I gotta do self-healing. Because the whole point of Nicole's character is that she lost her mother also. And I loved how the dad was like, I'm trying to give you space, but we need to grieve. You need to have a grieving process. You need to actually grieve your mother instead of just bottling it. And it doesn't have to be with the father, but he can help with the process, right? I love the father character. And Nicole kind of has that healing moment where she's processing the feelings about her dead mother with her dad. They're growing together as a father-daughter. There's a lot to it. And then with Sonia was like, well, I want to be with you. This is when Sonia comes back. And then, like, it's trying to go into the idea of how, like, Sonia's just, like, confused, right? But then Nicole is like, yeah, you're either with me or you're not, right? And then it kind of ends in a weird spot where, like, they're kind of like they're kind of head on shoulders kind of thing. I think with what it's trying to represent is that even though Sonia messed up, like, she's still trying to figure it out, you know. And then there is a second chance mentality. And I'm personally I'm a guy who is like, if someone hurts you in a relationship, you do have the right to give them a second chance. But I am, like, for, like, honest to God, no second chances, right? Because sometimes people just don't change. And that second chance is just like, hey, it kind of teaches people who do bad things, I can do bad things and get away with it, right? But it's a tough situation, right? And that's the film goes into kind of about how, like, they can have a relationship that's based on trust, communication, openness. But I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. Like, I don't know. I honestly would prefer it if Sonia was just kicked to the curb, because Sonia was an asshole to Nicole. And I wish that the film would have went to that mentality of like, oh, let's find someone, like, let's have someone else who's much nicer, much more better for Nicole. Because at the end of the day, it's all about self-worth, right? You deserve the best, right? Anybody, straight, gay, asexual, you deserve to have nothing but the best for you. And if someone hurts you, you don't need to give them a second chance. You don't, right? You don't owe that to them. And, you know, even if they're like, oh, I can change, yada, yada, yada. Doesn't fucking matter, you know? Because they're just trying to fight for, it's almost like a game at that point for some people, where it's like, oh, I can get them back. I fucked up, but I can get them back. Competitive, right? Maybe territorial. Everything's a case-by-case basis. I'm generalizing a little bit. Obviously, I don't think the film is trying to go into that. But the film is trying to talk about certain things about how relationships can be unhealthy. Even if it's like your first genuine love, right? And Call Me By Your Name kind of goes into that, but it does it in a lot more subtle and a lot more... It's in a way where you have to dissect the characters more. In Call Me By Your Name is definitely more towards adults. This film, it's more for a younger audience. I just want to make sure that younger audience are getting the right messages, right? And I think the movie does that to a degree. And that's all I gotta say about that. There are some technicals that I didn't like, but near the second half of the film, it kind of gets better, in my opinion. But yeah, it gets more interesting, I guess. But there's definitely I mean, as I'm saying all this is a movie not catered and meant for me. There are some moments where I'm like, I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of looking away from the screen because this movie has two individuals kissing, kind of touching each other that are young, and I'm like, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here. Like, as a mid-20s adult man, this isn't catered to me, right? Adult man that's also not gay. This is not meant for me. But that being said, I still know what a healthy relationship should look like, I think. And I mean, I know what a good film looks like, and I still have the tools in my tool belt to sympathize and relate, right? Doesn't mean my whole experience of the film is negated, but still, the enjoyment process isn't meant for me, which is understandable. Girls Like Girls, I get a 5 out of 10 too. Again, not terrible. It's pretty neutral how I feel about it. All in all, I like the middle part, especially the healing journey part, my favorite part. Love that. Which is, I mean, honestly, at first I was feeling a low rating, but then it got much better. Like it earned a couple points. So that's good. So yeah, that's how I feel. Please, that person, don't bomb my house. Don't put a bomb in my car. Thank you. All right, we're getting to the end of the session of the rambles. That was all the movies I'm talking about. I know I talked about Disclosure Day very quickly, but that movie is a nothing movie. Michael Jackson and Girls Like Girls had a lot bigger of a discussion than I thought it would be. We're getting to the end. One of the topics I like is what's in theaters right now. That's a big thing. I like just to keep you updated on where, if you're watching this later in the years, what was in theaters right now. You know, the big movie in theaters right now that's like taking up all the IMAX space, all the Dolby space. It's Toy Story 5, which is kind of stupid. I'm not even remotely interested in that. What else is in theaters? Leviticus just came out in theaters. That's a movie I'm actually interested in. Kind of like a gay horror. What else? I mean, Girls Like Girls just came out. There's another one. There's a movie called The Death of Robin Hood, an A24 movie. That looks kind of interesting. I want to check that one out. And I think that's like the big movies that I'm like on that are like on my radar. I mean, Obsession and Backrooms I think are still in theaters too, but you know they've been in theaters for a while. Yeah, those are the movies in theaters. Ending it off with the film of the week, and this week, again, I'm not gonna review it next week. I'm just kind of giving it for you to look at, maybe appreciate if you've seen it, maybe give it a watch if you haven't seen it. Film of the week. It is. I wanted to do an Andrei Tarkovsky film because it's one of my favorite directors, or he's one of my favorite directors. Andrei Rublev is the film I chose because it's a film I haven't seen in a long time. It's one of the ones I've kind of watched less of, like Stalker, Solaris, Ivan's Childhood. Those are the ones I've seen more. Andrei Rublev, I've only seen it once. You know, it's a long movie. If you don't know anything about Tarkovsky, he is a filmmaker that loves to utilize patience in his films. They're usually longer run times, closer to 3 hours. Very thought-provoking movies. He doesn't, he utilizes like the film as a form of poetry, and what's the word? A process of like not process. It's like I don't know. He utilizes thought and patience and thoughtful thinking and a lot of like just sitting on a moment rather than just like it being tight. It's not a very tight film. It's a very loose, it meanders, but it's still very, in my opinion, good. It's very good. Yeah, Andrei Tarkovsky, loved that movie. I think the first time I gave it a 9 out of 10, but I'll give it a watch at some point. Rewatch. I think that's my first. I think that's the Ramble session number 2, baby. I think that's it. I think that's good. An hour long, hour and 10 minutes. Yeah, I think this is good. I think I rambled on. This was a good session. All right. Bye.